Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today's video is going to be another makeup tutorial. As you guys know, we are doing 100 looks of 2021. So today's video is going to be look number 4. And yes, I know I'm a little lagging behind because according to my calculations, if I have to do 100 looks this year, I should do at least 8 or 9 looks a month, either here on YouTube or on Instagram. So I am kind of lagging behind, but hopefully we will catch up in February and we still have another seven days to go. So let's see, I will try to do a few more looks. So today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial using the most cheapest makeup products I have. Last week I did one on the most expensive products I have. Today we are going to do the cheapest. So if you guys are interested to see which kind of look I create today, please continue watching. Let's get started. For primer, unfortunately I don't have a drugstore primer. All my primers are high-end primers and the cheapest one which I have is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. So I was going to use this, but later I realized that I do have a Colorbar primer water. So this is the Perfect Match primer water from Colorbar. It's called Erase Me. So this is supposed to give you a very mattifying effect on the skin, refines the skin texture, and it helps to tighten the pores, and this gives a long-lasting makeup finish. You're supposed to use it after cleansing your skin. So after cleansing my skin, I have already applied a little bit of moisturizer, without which I cannot do. So I thought let's use this one today instead of the Fenty Beauty one. So this is around 800 rupees I think, and I had got it last year. I haven't really used it that much, just a little bit, and you can use it after your makeup as well for setting the makeup. So I'm going to use it for priming my face. Did I apply too much? I don't know, but yeah, I'm all for the matte look these days. So let's wait for it to dry on my skin and then we'll come back and do the foundation. Okay, the primer is set on the skin now. So it has just a slight bit of tackiness and it gives a slight sticky sensation on the skin. So I think that will be good for like the foundation staying on the skin. I don't really see a lot of difference in like minimizing of pores or anything, but I think it gives a nice base for the makeup to go on. Now let's move on to foundation. For foundation, I actually have two foundations which are in the lower range. So the cheapest one which I have is from Nykaa. This is the Skin Genius foundation. I believe this retails for around 500 rupees. This is the Nykaa Skin Genius foundation in the shade Golden Honey. This is a little bit too deep and a little bit too pink toned somehow for me. It looks a little too cool. Like it's quite off. As in, the shade is pretty good, but the undertone is quite off. I think I should get a better foundation match, or I don't know if the formula has changed, because I used to remember that this matched me pretty well. So I don't know if the formula has changed or my skin tone has changed or what, but I'm not going to use this foundation because this one doesn't really work out that well for me these days. The next least expensive foundation which I have is actually from Nykaa as well. I like this one much better than the other one, so I will use this one, the Nykaa SkinShield in the shade 12 True Toffee. I have taken this much. This is a really good match for me. It's quite warm toned, but yeah, I do really like it. I like the finish. So we'll apply this foundation on my face. Why am I applying with a finger? Let's take a brush. I have all of these nice clean brushes. I cleaned all my brushes over the weekend, and these are the Zoeva brushes case. So I'm going to use all my Zoeva brushes today. So using the Zoeva brush, I'm not going to apply too much foundation. Just get a nice even skin tone, I guess. I really like the finish of this foundation. It's a natural skin finish and it stays on the skin very nicely. It gives a nice coverage. It's not a full heavy duty foundation. It does enough to cover, so it has a medium coverage and I really like it. It's one of the best foundations I've tried from India. Okay, next we'll move on to concealer. For concealer, I think we have Elegance. So these Elegant concealers are also really raved about. They have been popular for a very long time, and I also really like this concealers. These are also not very high coverage concealers, but they have a nice medium coverage, buildable coverage. The texture is very nice. They sit on the skin very beautifully. I have two shades, Fawn and Warm Honey. So the Fawn is a little bit deeper. This is how Fawn looks like. And here we have Warm Honey, which is a little bit lighter. So Fawn I usually use for concealing and Warm Honey is for highlighting, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So Warm Honey, I will use it here. The shade Warm Honey is not too warm. That's the problem. I feel like it has a little bit more pink to it, but it works out pretty okay. So that's Warm Honey, and I'll apply a little bit of Fawn right here. So this is going to just even out the skin tone right there. It blends very, very easily, seamlessly. By the way, today I'm also wearing my the least expensive, the cheapest accessories as well. This is the cheapest earring which I have, like $5 from Phuket. And I'm also wearing my cheapest outside apparel. It's a short halter dress that was for $10 from Phuket as well. Okay, so that's done, the concealer and foundation. I think it looks very natural. That's the kind of finish I usually go for. Now let's move on to powder. For powder, I have the least expensive loose powder, which is the RCMA loose powder, RCMA no color powder. Now this one is very, very good for my skin tone underneath the eyes because it just brightens the area. So that's what I'm going to use this one for. And for all over the face, the cheapest powder which I have is from Maybelline, the Maybelline Fit Me powder. So this one is around $12 to $15 here in Singapore. Yeah, that's the cheapest one I have. And this one is probably around $8 to $10 if you buy from resellers. I had bought it from a reseller here for $10. So this is the price range of these two items. So let's apply. This is going to give brightening. I just love the texture of this RCMA powder. Is just super, super smooth and just so finely milled. It just makes your skin feel like silk. It's super, super smooth. But if I apply it all over the face, then it's going to be too white casty. I am going to look a little bit ghostly, little bit, tiny bit. So I don't apply it on my entire face, and apply a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me as well. The Nykaa foundation, ordinarily I wouldn't set it that much because it doesn't stay that tacky or dewy on my skin, but for masks I would definitely recommend setting it with powder, so it will not come onto the mask that much. Okay, the cheapest eyeshadow primer which I have is from Milani. It's a really, really beautiful eyeshadow primer. It has a little bit of like color to it, not too much, but it gives a nice base for eyeshadows. I don't set this primer as well. It sets on its own, and I'm so glad I can get Milani so easily at drugstore these days. There is one very near to my house as well. Primer is done. Now for some eyeshadows. So out of the ones which I have from the affordable category, these are the ones I have chosen. These are the less expensive ones. So the first one is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I got it very recently. I got it for around $8 on sale. The retail price of this one here is around $10, and I got it literally this month. And I saw it in front of me and I was like, oh my god, I never had this palette, so I had to get this one from Wet n Wild. Okay, then I have this Palladio quads, I would say, because these are smaller ones. These are actually not that cheap. These retail for around $12 to $14 here in Singapore. So I got them on sale on a pretty good deal, but the retail price is quite high. So it came down to using this palette, which is the Wet n Wild palette, or this palette. I also have this one. This one is from India. This is Nidhi Katia's brand. This is a 20-something cosmetics. This is their brand name, and the eyeshadow palette is called the Millenial palette, and it retails for 399 rupees. So this is even less than the Comfort Zone palette. So this comes to around 6 Singapore dollars. So this is actually the least expensive palette I own. So I thought, to be fair to this video, I think let's use this palette, and I'm really excited to use this palette. So this is how the palette looks like. It's a really nice palette, especially for 399 rupees, and being the first palette which the brand had launched. I think the quality was very good. Some of the shades could have been a little bit better, but I think overall, if you just don't want to spend on an eyeshadow palette and you want these colors, you can definitely consider. Okay, so let's apply. I think we'll apply this one first. Now I hope that the brand has better mattes now, because there are some other palettes I see from the brand. The mattes, I think they could be much better. Okay, so a little bit close up for the eyeshadow. So first of all, I am applying this color onto my lid, this one. Now the best way to apply the shimmers on the eyes is just to use your fingers. I'll apply it on the entire lid. It's a very subtle sort of a palette. It's a very beginner friendly palette as well. There is not too much intensity with all the shadows, but it's nice. Now I'll take a smaller brush and go in this brown. There's a dark brown in this palette, which I'll be very honest, it's not that great for my skin tone especially, but I'll still use it, and then we will deepen it up with black. Wow, it shows so much better now. Yeah, it's showing up so well now. So I am going to just apply the brown in the crease and use it to blend the previous shadow which I had put. And just, this is going to be my kind of transition sort of a color. I will also take the black which is there in the palette. The black is very nice. It's very pigmented. You can use it as a liner as well. It blends also very nicely, even though it's nicely pigmented. But the black I'm applying in sort of like an angle in the outer V, and then just blend it out. Also take it in the lower lash line. There's a little bit of fallout with the black shade, just a tiny bit, it's not too much. And just drag it outwards and also blend out the black which you have applied here. So basically I'm just applying the black towards the lash line and dragging it outwards in an angle. And with the previous brush of the brown, I'll just blend the black. Let's try to do something more to this eye look. I think we'll go with the golden now. There is a nice like a golden, what is it, like a coppery gold shade right here. So I'm going to apply the coppery gold shade in the inner portion of the lid. So this is going to bring a little bit of lightness. Also take it in the lower lash line. So this palette works great, but you do have to build up the shadows. Okay, and next I think we will go in the purple too. There is a purple in the palette, so let's take that purple and apply it in the, like on top of the black. So this purple will pop really nicely on top of the black, and apply like this. Get a purple. Okay, so that's going to be my eye look. I'm going to use this light highlight shade in my brow bone as well. And for the brows, this is the cheapest brow product I have. This is also from Colorbar. This is the Chestnut 001 shade from Colorbar. I have recently used it in one of the other tutorials I did. I don't really like it that much. The color is not very nice and it's a little bit too creamy for my liking, but I'll still use this in today's video because this is the cheapest one I have. So I'll do the brows, complete the other eye, and be right back. I'm taking a tiny bit of this matte pink shade, okay, on a very tiny little brush, like an angled brush. I'll take a little bit on this angled brush and just apply a little bit of pink right here. I think it will just bring the whole look together with a little bit of pink. I'm taking a smaller brush and just blending it out. Okay guys, so the eye look is complete. I have used this waterproof eyeliner from Essence. This is the least expensive eyeliner which I have, so I've used this to draw my eyeliner. I don't really like it that much because I'm not a fond of sponge tip applicators. This is a sponge tip applicator or a felt tip applicator. I like something like a brush tip applicator. Unfortunately, I don't really have a brush tip applicator right now which is less expensive than this, so that's why I use this one. And also for Kajal, I have used the Colorbar Mersmereyes Kajal, one of my favorite kajals, very black, and it stays on my waterline really long. So that's my Kajal. Then we have used the Colorbar eyebrow pencil. I have already spoken about this. And for mascara, I have used the K Beauty mascara. This is the midnight version. They have colored mascaras as well. I actually really like this mascaras. These are a little bit wet formula, but it's not too wet. It gives you enough time to curl your lashes and give a nice separation, give a nice amount of volume as well, slight bit of lengthening. It's more of a volumizing, defining sort of a mascara, and I really like it. It's very good for like everyday use. So yeah, this is a nice mascara to have, and I think it's not waterproof as well. It comes out very easily, so that I enjoy. Okay, let's move on to the contouring or bronzing part. So the cheapest contouring or bronzing product is a new one from BH Cosmetics which I have purchased, and I will use one of the bronzers from here. So I usually go in for this shade. It matches me pretty nicely, this one. The formula of these powders are so good. I'm loving this palette, especially the banana powder is also very nice. So just use a little bit of bronzing, very smooth formulation, and this palette was out of stock at so many places. So I think this is a very popular palette. I didn't know about this, but I have been searching it for quite some time, almost 4 months, and finally I purchased from Beauty Bay where it was available, and I think it was around $12. So for $12 you're getting 10 shades. It's a really good contour palette. Highly recommend. The powders are very nice, and even if you're close to my skin tone, there are a lot of shades, a lot of skin tones will be able to use. Great tool for makeup artists as well. Okay, loving my bronzer. Let's move on to blush. Okay, for blush I have where is my blush? Yeah, the least expensive blush which I have is this one from Wet n Wild. This is around $5 or $6. The Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Mellow Wine. This is such a beautiful formulation, and the color of this blush is so beautiful. This is actually my second purchase. The first one I used a lot and then I broke it. This is my second one, and I think this blush will also go really nicely with the look. So let's just apply this blush, Mellow Wine. Oh, I love this color so much. It looks so nice on tan skin. It's sort of like an apricot peachy blush. It goes very well with the eye look which I have here, and very smooth. It doesn't have any sort of shimmer or glitter. There are few blushes in the same category which have shimmer in them, like Pearlescent Pink I think is one blush which has shimmer in it. This one doesn't have shimmer. Okay, so that's the blush done. Now let's apply some highlighter. For highlighter I have, so these are the two highlighters which are very much similar in pricing, maybe 10 cents here and there. So I have picked out both of them. This is not a subtle highlighter. This is more of a subtle highlighter. The tones are very similar to each other. This one is Precious Petals. Okay. So this one is Essence Pure Nude, and that one is Precious Petals. I think Essence Pure Nude is a little too light. It's a little too white for my skin tone. I would love to get different shades in this, so I'm not going to use this one. Let's apply Precious Petals. It has a little bit more like a champagne-y warmth to it. Wow. Love this brush, by the way, for highlighting. This is the Zoeva Luxe Highlight Brush. It just blends everything so nicely and so seamlessly into the skin. Definitely recommend this. Okay, highlighter restart. Let's move on. Okay, so now the last thing we have to apply is lipstick. For lipstick, the least expensive lipstick which I actually have are from Essence. So these are the Essence lipsticks. These are the This Is Me lipsticks. I have 2 shades, and the Nykaa Creamy Matte or So Creamy Matte lipsticks. These are also like super inexpensive. This is $2.99 and this one is $6. So these are around 300 rupees, I would say. So actually both are very similar. So let's see which lipstick shade will match or complement this look. So this one is Deja Nude from Nykaa. This is a deep brownish nude. 06 Real from Essence, which is like a pinkish nude. 04 from Essence, which is a pink. I mean, ideally I would go with a nude shade, that is 06. This is usually what I'll go for, but I want to be something different. Let's do a deep nude, which is Nykaa Deja Nude in the Creamy Matte formula. Yeah, I think I prefer this one, the deeper lipstick. Okay guys, so this is my finished makeup look for today. Look number 5, using the most cheapest or the least expensive makeup which I have in my collection, and I actually do really like this look. It turned out really well, especially the eye look with the purple and the red, the gold. I think all the colors are working really nicely along with the lipstick. Definitely love the foundation, the RCMA powder. I need to use this more. Love this powder. It's so smooth. The blush and the lipstick, so the highlighter even. So I think it turned out pretty well. Do let me know how you like this look. Also share with me what are some of the least expensive makeup products which you have and how do you like them. Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked this video, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as always. And if you're watching me for the first time, I really hope you will consider subscribing to my channel. This is a year-long series of 100 looks in 2021. So thank you so much for watching me today. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.